This is Markin Out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. Follow on Twitter. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. Marking Out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. Brennan likes fisting. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. We're marking out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans.
Welcome to Markin Out, Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. This is episode 801. Make sure that you are checking out markinout.com. Also, make sure that you are giving us a 5-star rating to go with that 5-star frog splash wherever you are listening to Markin Out, which is probably on Spotify or something of that. And at the end of the year, we want to be on your story for Spotify. But in addition to that, buy a t-shirt, prowrestlingtees.com/markinout. Go give us a like on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at markinout, on TikTok at markinout, on Instagram at markinout11. You can check me out, Dave the Rave, at DavidPT on all social media platforms. You can follow Chris at CMSweeney85 on Instagram, and Chris Weendog on Twitter. And you can check out Brandon at BTTG161. Brandon, how are you?
I am doing awesome as always. How about yourself?
Doing fantastic. Fantastic. I mean, how can you not be doing fantastic after this entire week?
I was going to save all that for the ending.
Sounds good. So tell me. So
wait, you went out this week, didn't you?
Yes. We actually went to a bar in Brooklyn called Wolf Pup, which were one of our friends just helped open, and they had their grand opening and everything, and me, Chris, and a few of our friends went to go support it. So if you're in Brooklyn and you're by Rogers Street, make sure you check out Wolf Pup, because it's an incredible bar. You could say hi to Bobby over there. He is a pro wrestling fan, so you could talk pro wrestling with him all you want. But definitely go check out Wolf Pup over in Brooklyn. But yeah, it was a great weekend. Got to do that. And
Bushwick?
Then also Bushwick.
At Bed-Stuy? Right on the border, apparently.
To be honest, I don't know.
It says border of Bushwick and Bed-Stuy.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh no, that's
specifically.
Lone Wolf. That's not Wolf Pup.
Yeah, Wolf Pup is 447 Rogers Avenue in Brooklyn, New York, and you should check them out. 125 million%. And something really cool is they also have an Instagram, so you should check them out there too, at Wolf Pup Bar. Go check it out, 447 Rogers Avenue. Besides that, I went to meet up with some of my cousins, and we went to Texas Roadhouse.
Ugh.
Haven't been there in
How do you go
15
in there?
years.
You're literally allergic to the floor.
So it's not like how it used to be. Apparently now all of the nuts are, all the peanuts are they come in a packaged bag. So it's not just open automatically.
Oh, wow.
So everything is packaged. So it's not like how it used to be where you go in and like it's all over the floor, which I thought was really disgusting.
I find Texas Roadhouse to be awful regardless. The only thing that they have that's good is their
bread.
Rolls and their
bread with that cinnamon butter was incredible.
I actually just watched a funny video the other day that somebody went with their girlfriend, I believe it was, for the first time to Texas Roadhouse. And he told her that the bread baskets are $10 each.
I saw that. I love them.
I thought that was
couple.
really funny.
It's the ones that say like no speak Spanish.
I don't know the.
Yeah, I've seen that one. I follow. I actually just watched a video of them going to the soccer games. I love that couple. I forgot the name of them, but they're hilarious. But yeah, I saw that too. The food. I thought that the food was really good there. I enjoyed it. I would go back.
I went to Texas Roadhouse. Maybe the last time I went, was Hurricane Irene. 2000 11.
Wow. Long time ago.
I
Nice.
think
So
that's
what else did you do this weekend?
I didn't say what I did in general, but I didn't do much. Obviously I watched pro wrestling a lot. I did on Monday try to get tickets to see BB Rexa. She's doing a free concert at Irving Plaza on Monday. And I was in the queue. There were over 50,000 people trying to get in there. There was like 2,000 tickets. And it was like first come, first serve. Like if you go to the venue, you're not guaranteed to get in regardless. People are selling the tickets on secondary markets, and I think that's garbage. I almost cursed.
I don't like. There has to be a way to stop all of that crap.
Yeah, I don't get it. If you're literally giving away free tickets, and then people are then charging. If the tickets are even real, that they're listing, people are charging up to like $300 for a free ticket.
Like how are you able to allow that on your platform?
I don't know.
Like it's such lousy business.
That's garbage, man.
Yeah, that's lousy. All right. So what else you do?
That's as far as I'd like to discuss. That's it.
Nice. Okay. That's okay. That's okay, Brandon. You don't have to go more than that. I don't know. But we should talk about some pro wrestling talk. So let's talk about some Monday Night Raw, kicking off with Oba.
That pop was absolutely nuts. They were in Bologna. Were they Bologna, Italy, or was this Paris? I forget one of the They were in Europe. Bologna may have been the other week.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, somebody's tweet went viral this week. Like, can they stop going overseas? I like watching wrestling at normal times.
You could still watch it at normal times, you know.
Like, very much
nothing
so can, but also, I work. It's like a breath of fresh air.
I'm at work at 2 p.m. Guess what I do? I watch it at the regular time that I would still watch it.
I think it's fantastic to be over with pro wrestling at like 5 p.m. We get to do it in 2 weeks, I think, and then a week after that, it starts at 6 p.m. I think instead of 8 p.m. I think because they're going to be in London or England, wherever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the pop for Obafemi, wherever they were, I thought was absolutely fantastic. He said he's going to run through everybody in the tournament. He's going to win the King of the Ring. He mentioned Brock Lesnar and him cheating and then winning and then disappearing. And then Dominic Mysterio showed up to incredible heat. Mm-hmm. Just a huge amount of booze there. And he said Oba doesn't rule anyone. He spoke about winning the King of the Ring. And then JD McDonough showed up from behind, cracked Obafemi with the chair, had absolutely no effect. And Oba ends up taking both of them out, even after eating a 619 from Dom.
Yeah.
So
I thought this was good. I liked it.
And it leads to the match next week for the King of the Ring, where we're going to be seeing Oba versus Dom in the tournament.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to be a fun matchup too, you know?
Yeah.
But talking about the matchups for tournaments, Liv Morgan picked up the victory over Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, and Chelsea Green to advance in the Queen of the Ring tournament. I mean, what's your take?
Well, first of all, I think as far as this match goes, I think everyone at some point was cheered. But I thought most of the moves that they did were really well done here. I really liked the ending where everyone kept doing their finisher and breaking up the pins. And then Liv used that jackknife pin on Chelsea after Chelsea just hit the I'm Pretty Her. But as far as Liv Morgan winning this, Liv Morgan has gone on the record and said that she wants it all. Whether Stephanie Vicaire costs her the Queen of the Ring tournament or what, I don't know what's going to happen there, but I'm fine with Liv Morgan being in this. She's laid out the exact reason why she wants to be in it. I know people will say, oh, well, it sucks that she's not defending her championship. She should be defending her championship. Yes, I think she should be defending the championship as well.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're going into a program with Stephanie Vaquer and they don't want to pivot anywhere, I'm fine with Liv Morgan being there.
And I'm on the other end of the spectrum where I'm not really too... I don't know. I don't really want her to be in the tournament, but on the other hand, I understand why she's in the tournament with the explanation that was provided.
And it also, like, we've seen the backstage segments between her, Roxanne, and Raquel, where there's definitely looking to be a power struggle soon.
I mean,
because Roxanne lost her match, and she was, like, very disappointed about it. Yeah, Raquel still has a fight in this.
Yeah, but even still, like, even when they found out, it seemed like Liv Morgan had no clue that she was even going to be in the tournament. And I'd rather somebody like Chelsea Green advance in this tournament. But, yeah, that's just my take.
Well, but after that, we saw Sol Ruca pick up the victory over Lyra Valkyria to retain the Intercontinental Championship. I think this had a lot of good back and forth with a lot of reversals. That Soul Snatcher that was reversed into the Nightwing I thought was great. And then Sol Ruca reversed that into a pin and eventually hit the Soul Snatcher to get the victory there. And overall, for Monday Night Raw, I thought the women did a fantastic job here.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. I thought that they did a very good job. And I liked it. I thought that it was, obviously, Sol Ruca had to pick up the victory. But I thought it was good, you know. I thought it was a solid match.
After that, we had LA
Knight
come out. And I thought it was hilarious that LA Knight dropped the microphone when it was thrown to him. And the fans booed, so LA Knight tossed it back out, and they cheered when he caught it again. He made them throw the microphone again.
Yeah, that was a good spot.
He said that if he does win the King of the Ring and faces Roman Reigns, he knows everyone's going to get involved like they always do, meaning the Bloodline. And Jey Uso eventually showed up. I didn't like that he took time to yeet. Mm-hmm. He did it with the crowd. He was so pissed off at LA Knight that he goes and then runs it back. Like, does that make sense?
No.
But he literally... after running it back, all he did was he yelled about showing up for his family and then spoke about the match that's going to be on SmackDown. And LA Knight said, screw his family, and Jimmy stopped Jay from fighting. I feel like this segment could have been a lot shorter.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, they gave LA Knight a long time, but I don't know if it was really that needed.
I liked what LA Knight was saying. I liked that stuff. He's clearly still has the fans behind him.
Mm-hmm.
It helps tease him winning the King of the Ring tournament, but with Obafemi there's just no way.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier on Monday Night Raw, we saw Chad Gable backstage, which goes back to AAA. I guess we could group that in there, where he apologized to Rey Fenix. On Monday Night Raw, he apologized to Penta, and Penta said that he still has to apologize to somebody else. Penta accepted it. Phoenix accepted it. That somebody else, obviously, he's alluding to was Rey Mysterio. And then later on, he went up to Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio, and Dragon Lee, like, cut him off. He's like, look, we completely understand. And they both end up accepting the apology. And Rey Mysterio's like, listen, it's not really over now. I feel like you have to look back to before the mask. So, obviously, Pimpy is completely cut out of this apology tour. There's not going to be an apology for Pimpy until, like, that next time Chad Gable's in AAA, maybe.
Yeah, at least for now. I don't think that we're going to get an apology for Pimpy on, like, I think that it would be on AAA.
Well, obviously, but I don't think, like, the tour is going to obviously be complete with Alpha Academy. And I feel like this is where Maxine is not going to be she's going to be the one to not accept it. And that turns her heel. That'll lead to a Chad Gable, Austin Theory situation, something like that. Maybe this does get us the Alpha Academy as tag team champions. What's happening with the Creeds? What's happening with the Los Americanos Hermanos? We don't know. We've not seen anything from them. Right. But it leads into a match where we see Penta pick up the victory over Rey Mysterio to retain the Intercontinental Championship. I think this was their third time facing off in singles competition. They've been in other various tag team matches. But as far as WWE, this was their first singles match. But the fans were very into this match. And I thought it was very well done as well. That 619 that Rey Mysterio did on the outside, I thought was great.
That was
Later
awesome.
on, Rey Mysterio blocked the Penta driver. At one point, landed on his neck. Still went and hit the 619, which Penta blocked the splash from afterwards. And then he hit the Destroyer on Rey Mysterio to get the victory there. But I would have liked to have seen that match go even longer.
I actually wouldn't have wanted it longer. I thought that the timing was perfect the way it was.
No, but I mean
think
that they could have done a lot more, and it could have I enjoyed the match, but I would have liked for it to be longer because how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I understand. I wouldn't have.
But
I feel
Rusev,
like for me, I would have lost focus.
Rusev and Ethan Page attacked afterwards, and Dragon Lee came out to try to make the save, which he actually did. Hold the ring for a while. But Ethan Page finally stopped that. Rusev ripped off Rey Mysterio's mask. And then Chad Gable finally runs out to make the save to a huge pop with the American Alpha theme song. And Chad Gable helped Rey Mysterio with his mask.
Yeah, Chad
so I thought that was a very...
so over.
Yeah, I thought that was a great segment there.
Yeah, and I love that they're capitalizing on Chad Gable so fast with everything from his appearance on SmackDown to the appearance on Monday Night Raw. I think that they're getting it hot right after that AAA matchup, which is perfect.
Oh, right. It wasn't AAA. It was on SmackDown that Chad Gable apologized to Phoenix. But that was. I thought that was a great tie-in to the apology tour. I thought this was the main event. So it threw me for a loop when they had the other King of the Ring qualifier. But, it's stupid for me to have not remembered that.
That's all right. Well, it was Javon Evans picking up the victory over Tala Tonga, Ricky Saints, and Seth Rollins to advance in the King of the Ring tournament. Yeah. I thought that it was a good show-off for Evans. I liked Tonga's moves in it, too.
I mean, Tala Tonga, I think they're doing a very good job of building Tala Tonga up.
Yeah, it's been a slow build with him, but...
I mean, very slow is that an overstatement there?
Definitely overstatement. I mean, I think that he has a lot of potential, but they have to do something soon. And it looks like maybe they are, but...
Who knows? But I liked... Seth Rollins and Javon Evans teaming up here. Ricky and Tala Tonga teamed up, but Tala eventually took Saints down with that big boot after they did the HBK Diesel high five spot. Later on, Seth Rollins and Ricky Saints worked together to take Tala Tonga down, but Tala Tonga popped back up, choked both of them. Javon comes flying out of nowhere to take him down, but as far as Tala Tonga goes in this match, like I was saying, they did a very good job of building him up. I would have been shocked if Tala Tonga won this, but they made it look like he had a shot at winning this tournament here. I liked when Javon Evans got out of that Tower of Doom spot and he tried to square up with Tala Tonga. The stomps from Seth to Tala I thought were great. Seth also reversed that revolutionary DDT and hit a stomp to Ricky Saints. And then Austin Theory showed up and pulled the referee out. Montez Ford showed up, fought with Austin Theory. And then Braun Breaker speared Seth Rollins, and Ricky Saints went to go pin Seth, but Javon Evans hit the OG cutter, got the victory. And I think despite all the interference in that, it's a huge victory for Javon Evans there. I think if you put out a poll, 99% of the votes would have been, like a no-brainer, Seth Rollins is winning this match. So,
yeah,
it was a very surprising victory for Javon Evans, but a fantastic one.
I agree with you.
So, moving over to NXT, it kicked off with Fraxium picking up the victory over Noam Dar and Romeo Moreno. I thought this was a really fun match. They had some good reversals. It was a bit chaotic to the point where I forgot who were the legal competitors in this.
Mm-hmm.
But it was nice to see Fraxium back in a capacity like this. It was nice to see Noam Dar in a capacity like this. When Nathan Frazer hit that frog splash on Noam Dar to break up the armbar, I thought that was like the only questionable spot, because wouldn't that also hurt Axiom? Like if Axiom didn't get loose and move his arm, would that not have, in kayfabe, broken his arm?
Maybe.
Like if you're locked in an armbar and then you hit a frog splash on top of somebody locked in an armbar, wouldn't that do damage to the armbar?
I mean, seems likely.
I thought the ankle lock spot was good. Nathan Frazer locked Moreno in a sleeper, and Axiom accidentally kicked him, and it looked like that was about to like lead to the end, where it's like Fraxium's not fine here. Nathan Frazer kicks out, and Fraxium ends up hitting the golden ratio. They hit the Phoenix Splash combo, get the victory off of that. And like I said, it was great to see Fraxium actually wrestle like this again. It was great to see Noam Dar like this. The fans were fully into this match.
Yeah, the fans were very behind it. Talking about matches that the fans were behind, Naraku picked up the victory over Mason Rook to become the #1 contender. Solid, hard-hitting matchup.
I think they both got to showcase themselves here. I think Rook stood out more with the big man stuff. Not to say Naraku didn't look great in this, but I feel like Rook was the one that shined more here. He did get Mason Rook up multiple times for different moves, so I thought that was cool. But Cam Hendricks showed up. Rook took him out, and that allowed for Naraku to get that STO and get the victory off of that. But I feel like it was very clearly leading to Naraku versus Tony D'Angelo regardless.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, and Naraku has a really cool new T-shirt out from what I saw.
Which I would have been keen on getting had it not been not in my size.
Ugh. You should definitely message them about that one.
What are they going to do? Oh, we'll let you know if it comes in fat.
Damn.
They don't do it. They don't have, like, for some reason, some of their shirts don't go past 3XL. It's baloney.
Boo.
Yeah.
Boo.
Big time.
Well, next up you had Kendall Gray pick with the victory over Kalani Jordan to become the #1 contender.
Kalani went to attack before the bell. Gray blocked it. She was ready for it. I like that aspect there.
Agreed.
And I think both of them, Kalani Jordan and Kendall Gray, are both so freaking good. This was such an even match. Both of them could be on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown like yesterday. So, I was a big fan of this match. Kalani tried to use the ropes for the pin. The referee saw that. The last, minute or so of this match I thought was really, really well done. And it ended with that Shades of Grey from Kendall, and Kendall got the win over there.
Yeah. It was enjoyable. Next up, you had Lennox pick up the victory over Jasper Troy. Good match.
Saquon Sugars at one point showed up on the screen and told Dion Lennox to watch his back, which was like a very, very temporary distraction. And I thought that Troy would win this match because of the distraction there. Saquon appeared afterwards, and the video started buffering, and then Sugar showed up from behind, took Osiris Griffin out with a baseball bat. So he's clearly taken out Darkseid. He took out Cutler. He's taken out Griffin. It's Lennox next. Where it leads, we don't know. After that, we have the Mr. NXT pageant. It was happening throughout the night on NXT. You had Evolve champion Aaron Rourke as a judge. You had Kit Wilson from SmackDown as a judge. And you had Matt Matthews as a judge. I don't know. He's a comedian. I was not familiar with him. But they had different competitions. It ended with Shiloh getting the victory. And then Tristan Angels attacked him afterwards. I feel like this could have been better. Where does a Mr. NXT lead to now? I wonder if that got added to his Wikipedia page.
I mean, probably should if you want it.
I mean, yeah, technically it's a title I would tell people.
I mean,
if I'm signing Topps cards, I'm writing Mr. NXT there.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
But the main event of NXT saw Zaria pick up the victory over Tatum Paxley to become the new North American champion. This match went from 0 to 100 pretty quickly in favor of Zaria. But it was not a one-sided match. I liked when Zaria went for another spear and Tatum, she jumped over it, and while Zaria's in that spear position, she double stomped her. I don't know if we've ever seen somebody do that before. I thought that was a fantastic counter to the spear. And then Zaria, she did hit another spear. Tatum kicked out. Tatum Paxley went coast to coast at one point, which I'm not sure if we've ever seen her do that before. But Zaria hit an F5 on the outside. She hit another spear inside the ring. She hit another F5 and got the victory off of that. I think it's definitely sad to see Tatum Paxley lose that championship. But if you're putting Zaria in this match, she 100% needed to win.
Agreed.
And like I said with Kendall Gray and Kalani Jordan, Tatum Paxley is somebody who could have been on Raw or SmackDown yesterday, months ago, whatever. This seems, apparently she was saying goodbye to everybody in the crowd at NXT, so it seems like she's going to be making her way permanently to Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah, and that should be very entertaining. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with that.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Zaria does with that North American Championship. But that is NXT. Moving over to SmackDown. It kicked off with Charlotte Flair picking up the victory over Jade Cargill, Lyra Valkyria, and Sol Ruca to advance in the Queen of the Ring. When we spoke about Monday Night Raw, I didn't realize that Sol Ruca and Lyra were in this, and I feel like this also, that could have just been a Queen of the Ring qualifier. This match, though, started pretty similarly to that Oba Femi match, with Jade Cargill taking all three opponents down. But we saw B-Fab and Mia Yim get involved. Alexa Bliss made the save. Tiffany Stratton made the save. That then sets up a match later on, which I'll put a pin in. I liked what Sol Ruca and Lyra Valkyria were able to do in this match. The Tower of Doom spot, I thought, with Lyra hitting the Samoan drop on Charlotte due to Jade Cargill hitting that powerbomb on Lyra. I thought that was a good spot. I liked Lyra reversing the natural selection with a pin, but she ended up tapping out to the figure eight. And later on, we saw Mia Yim and B-Fab pick up the victory over Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton. I am definitely liking the continued use of Mia Yim and B-Fab on TV, and I think they did a very good job at holding the ring here. I think Chelsea did a very, very good job at selling that she was stuck in the ring. So when Jade Cargill showed up, she pulled Tiffany Stratton off the apron. Chelsea Green, I think, did a very good job at selling that missed hot tag. We did see Chelsea kind of have a small little comeback there. She hit the Unpretty Her on B-Fab. Mia Yim hit the Styles Clash show to win. And then Tiffany Stratton attacked them afterwards. She got beat down. Later, or not later, earlier, we saw Paige and Brie Bella pick up the victory over Fatal Influence. Jacy Jane got involved. I thought Brie was really good in this match. And Fatal Influence, I think, did very well with their distractions. The referee, though, did at one point catch Jacy Jane, kicked her from ringside. Brie Bella ended up reversing a pin when the referee wasn't looking, and that led to them getting the victory there. I thought Fatal Influence were going to win that match. But I guess maybe now we'll see like an extended feud between them regardless. We saw Sami Zayn backstage talking to Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano's laid out there, not doing anything. And whatever Sami Zayn said had Candice LeRae be like, yeah, when will you do something about this? And that led Sami Zayn to think that she was talking to him. So he went out to speak to Cody. He first put over the European crowds who were cheering him, these crowds booing him. And he spoke about leaving Cody to be attacked because Cody needed that. And last week he ended up helping Cody only to be attacked and laid out on his back. And he said that when Cody Rhodes won the championship at WrestleMania, he was the first person in the ring to celebrate with Cody. And everyone else who helped him and celebrated with him, they're no longer friends with Cody. Kevin Owens, Randy Orton. And he said, so maybe it's not him, maybe it's Cody who's the problem. And Cody yelled at Sami Zayn and said that the fans are booing him because he sucks lately. And then Sami slapped him. Cody told him that he'll never hold the WWE Championship, and that triggered Sami Zayn. And he tried to apologize for slapping Cody. Cody, he was seemingly accepting it, and then to get him back, slapped Sami Zayn. And that fired Sami up. Sami went and grabbed a chair, and then ends up dropping the chair and left. I think it would be great to see Sami Zayn actually win the WWE Championship. I don't necessarily see that happening anytime soon. But later on, Gunther spoke to Nick Aldis, and he announced what the stipulation he wants for the match with him and Cody Rhodes next week for the WWE Championship. And it turns out he wants Sami Zayn to be the guest referee. And then Sami Zayn overheard Cody Rhodes talking trash about him to Nick Aldis. So it should be very interesting to see what happens. Will Sami Zayn call it down the middle? It seems not. It seems like he won't. We saw Rey Fenix pick up the victory over Axiom to retain. I think it's cool that we got to see the AAA Cruiserweight Championship defended on SmackDown. I think both of them had some good back and forth here. Rey Fenix dropped down when Axiom went for the golden ratio, so that led to more moves. I think the Spanish fly spot was nice. In the end, Phoenix was able to hit the Mexican Muscle Buster, get the victory there. We saw Trick Williams come out, and he spoke about losing the King of the Ring qualifier last week, but it woke him up. And he wants to bring SmackDown to new heights. And then Ricky Saints came out, and then Carmelo showed up. He overtook Saints, took his mic, went to the ring, and then Ricky Saints rushed into the ring before him. And Carmelo Hayes wanted Trick Williams to pick him or Ricky to face for the U.S. Championship. Saints said that he beat Melo. Melo was like, I beat you. And Trick Williams was like, why don't you both face off and then come find me? Ricky Saints attacked Carmelo Hayes, sent him into Trick Williams. They both brawled a little bit, and then Trick Williams ends up taking both of them out. Backstage, Kiana James was interviewed, and Julia showed up. I thought that was a very good segment between the two of them. It had me wanting more between both of them, so I'm glad that we got that segment. I'm glad that that segment played out the way it did. Earlier on SmackDown, R-Truth welcomed Finn Balor to SmackDown. Also welcomed him back to the Judgment Day. Damian Priest was not happy about that. We had a segment where Jacob Fatu spoke with Solo Sikoa, delivered a message from Roman Reigns saying that he wants Solo to come home. And Solo said that it's not home for him. And he said that Jacob Fatu used to be a killer, now he's a lapdog. And he also said that if Roman Reigns wants him to come home, he can come get him. And then later on, Solo Sikoa spoke to Royce Keys about the bloodline being there and planting these seeds, being like, we all know why the bloodline's here. And Jacob Fatu is here as well. Your friend, Jacob Fatu. Guess what he's here to do? And then we also saw Tama Tonga welcome Finn Balor back to SmackDown. Said it's been a long time. It should be very, very interesting to see where they go with this bloodline. I know a lot of people are so over the bloodline, but the branches that we're at right now, I'm intrigued by. And in the main event, we saw Jey Uso pick up the victory over Royce Keys, LA Knight, and Finn Balor to advance in the King of the Ring. First of all, LA Knight popped me big time running his theme song back. Jey Uso attacked him, but I really would have liked to have seen either LA Knight or Finn Balor win this. I know that wasn't realistic. I thought the power slam from the middle rope to Finn Balor from Royce Keys was awesome. Jimmy showed up. Solo Sikoa showed up. Finn Balor, LA Knight, and Jey Uso worked together to take Royce Keys out, powerbomb him through the commentary table. That took him out for a little bit, but the coup de grace spot I thought was really well done. Keys actually broke up Finn Balor's pin. LA Knight drop-kicked Royce Keys into Solo Sikoa, and Solo was pissed off. He ends up spiking LA Knight without Royce Keys seeing. Royce Keys was able to hit the spine buster on LA Knight, and then Jey Uso to break up the pin, hit the Uso splash, and then pinned LA Knight and got the victory. I think everybody sees the writing on the wall there. I mean, some people think Jey Uso's winning the King of the Ring. I would be shocked. I mean, it's plausible that Brock Lesnar could show up and cost Obafemi the King of the Ring. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope it's not Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. I feel like that's where it could lead, though, and I really hope that's not the case. But that is SmackDown. Going to take a quick little break, and I'll be right back here on Markin Out.
This is the innovator of violence, Tommy Dreamer, and you're listening to Marking Out, letting all your podcasting to the extreme.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Markin Out, episode 801. Moving back to part 2 of AAA Noche de los Grandes. Lince Dorado picked up the victory over Octagon Jr., Joaquin Wilde, Cruz del Toro, and Mini Vikingo to become the number 1 contender for the Cruiserweight Championship. I think this had some good action in it. It was interesting to see the LWO members go up against one another. Octagon unfortunately got injured during this match, which they edited out, obviously. But hopefully he's okay. They filmed the match that he's going to be in on the next episode as well. But Lince Dorado won with the Shooting Star Press on Cruz del Toro. Rey Mysterio had an announcement. He announced that whoever will be champion come night 2 of Triple Mania will defend the title. I assume it's going to be Dom versus El Grande Americano. But like I've said in the past, I would really hope that Dom faces Tejano Jr. Somebody like big that's from AAA before Dom loses that title. I think it would be good for that. And then the main event saw Bayley, La Catalina, and Lola Vice pick up the victory over Las Toxicas. I enjoyed this match. I enjoyed Bayley, Catalina, and Lola Vice as a team. We had a little tease with Catalina and Flammer. I would have liked to have seen La Catalina showcased a lot more in this match. I feel like Bayley was the one who was spotlighted the most. Obviously, Catalina had the final moments in the match, but I would have liked more. I feel like that other match that she was in also didn't really showcase her as good as it possibly could have. And as far as this episode goes, I feel like this could have just been one big event last week. I don't think it was necessary to break it up into two things, especially for just two matches here. And it would have made last week's event feel even bigger. Like, to go from that mask versus mask match and then follow it up with just these two matches, it just didn't really make sense to me. Moving over to Impact Wrestling, you had Mike, or TNA Wrestling, Impact. TNA Impact. You had Mike Santana pick up the victory over Eric Young to retain the championship. I was not expecting this match to open the show, and I thought this was good. The referee got knocked down at one point. Santana hit spin the block, but couldn't finish the match, obviously, because the referee was down. And he tried to wake the ref up. Eric Young low blowed Mike Santana. And then he grabbed the title to use in front of Carlos Silva. Carlos Silva did nothing. And he hit Santana with the title. And then he hit a pile driver on Santana. Santana got his hand on the rope. That was a good rope break spot. And then Ricky Sosa returned. He came out. Santana was able to roll up Eric Young as a counter to the pile driver after that. Nic Nemeth came out with his Call Your Shot trophy, and he helped Santana up. Instead of cashing in, he said that I'm going to cash in Slammiversary. You had Mr. Elegance pick up the victory over Elijah. At the beginning of this match, Elijah was served with papers by someone, and Mr. Elegance rolled him up pretty, right away. And then AJ Francis showed up, trolled him. Elijah fought with AJ Francis. And then Lei Ying Lee showed up to fight with Mr. Elegance. And then Zaya Brookside came out to attack her. It seems like Zaya Brookside is not going to win that championship at Slammiversary. We had Eddie Edwards, Cedric Alexander pick up the victory over Leon Slater and Fabian Eichner. I think the system controlled a lot of the beginning of this match, a lot of the middle of this match as well. But Slater got tagged in, took over. It allowed for Eichner to come back as well. But Brian Myers, Bear Bronson ran down. They did get taken out, but then Alicia Edwards got involved. Cedric was able to hit the lumbar check to get the victory off of that. And then the system attacked afterwards. Moose finally shows up, makes his big return, and they all scattered. And he announced that at Slammiversary, he's going to be facing Eddie Edwards. After that, we had a segment with The Righteous. Vincent spoke about the poisonous flower that he used to take Jeff Hardy out last week. And he said it wasn't to hurt him, it was to show him that legends also decay. And then he brought up the tag team championships. I think Dutch had a good promo here. And Santino showed up, said that the Hardys still have their automatic rematch clause. So the system at Slammiversary will defend the titles against the Hardys, as well as the Righteous, in a ladder match. And then Vincent said that the Hardys are gone. The lights went out. Matt's voice said, yes. And then when the lights came back on, a ladder appeared in the ring. And that shook the Righteous. You had Mara Sade, Allie, and Rosemary pick up the victory over the Elegance brand. Mr. Elegance tripped up Mara Sade during her entrance, and that got turned into a brawl. Rosemary ends up pulling out a doll that they used. It was like it looked like a baby doll, but it was used as like a voodoo doll for Ash by Elegance. I get the spot. I could have done without that. If this was like a pre-tape, like a backstage sort of segment, sure. If it wasn't for like a television match, sure. But as far as a TV match goes, it didn't add to this match. It really, they didn't do much in this match to begin with, and then to add that to it, I felt like that was the main focus, and to me, it didn't work. Rosemary, in the end, ended up holding on to Allie, and Allie was able to get the victory over M. I had much higher hopes for this match. I just want to see the Elegance brand wrestle. This was barely a match. You had Mustafa Ali in the main event pick up the victory over Casey Navarro to retain the championship. I thought this was a very good match for Casey Navarro in the main event. And he came close to winning, but Mustafa Ali made him tap out to a sharpshooter. He locked him in the sharpshooter again after the match. And then both Mike Santana and Nic Nemeth made their way out and helped out Casey Navarro. Mustafa Ali goes to hit Mike Santana with that championship. Nic Nemeth caught it, smacked him with a super kick. And then I guess Mike Santana thought he was in the clear there. He got hit with the danger zone by Nic Nemeth. So I thought this was a much better episode than last week's episode, but they need to do more with the knockouts. So we'll see what happens there. Hey, Brandon, got any shout-outs?
Hello there, it's Randy Newman, and you're listening to Brandon's Shoutouts, because you got some shoutouts from Brandon.
Hoppers gets the first shout-out. Have you heard of this film at least? Probably not.
Is that the animation movie?
It is. It was out in theaters a few months ago. It's now on Disney Plus. It's Pixar's latest film. Science fiction. I enjoyed this film. It's about a college student who tries to save a nature glade from being bulldozed for a roadway. And she stumbles on technology that allows her to hop into a robot. She hops into a robotic beaver and tries to help end the development. It stars Piper Curda, Bobby Moynihan, John Hamm, Kathy Najimy, Dave Franco. Bunch of other actors are in it. Meryl Streep's even in it. I think this would honestly make a fun ride at Disney, where the rider hops into different animals to communicate with the creatures in the forest. But there's also a fun Pixar theory Easter egg in this film, so you could look out for that. I don't think that's a spoiler or anything, but
I mean,
I thought this was a very well done film. What did you say?
Can you mention what that is?
Well, the Pixar theory is like
everything's
Pixar
in the
film
same
is
universe.
connected. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it like
so there's something that's a connection in this one.
Well, yeah, like it's. I mean, should I just say it?
Yeah, say it.
The professor or whatever she is has like a workboard that shows different. Like she created this way of hopping that the college student found. So on her board, there's other inventions of sorts, like a collar that allows dogs to talk to humans.
Oh,
There's one for humans to go into cars. Obviously, that's
Okay.
cars. There's one
the other
for
one's Up.
dogs to fly planes, which is also, I assume that's also a reference to Up.
What's that one?
The dog collar one and the dogs flying the planes were, I have to assume both were Up.
I don't
because
remember
dogs,
the dog flying a plane and Up.
Yeah, the dogs were flying planes and Up. And then there was one for a robotic cat, which is, I mean, that's in Lightyear, the Buzz Lightyear film. So,
That one I haven't seen.
yeah, so I think I appreciated that Easter egg there.
Very cool.
My next shout out goes to Office Romance. Have you heard anything about this?
I saw it. I considered watching it. Should I watch it?
I don't want this to be an anti-shout out, but I am so on the fence here.
Okay,
Because
I'm
I
skipping
feel like
it.
this I said this match. I feel like this movie could have been so much better. And I had high hopes for it. I still enjoyed it overall, but I feel like it could have just been better.
Is
it's
it
a
like
new-
every other rom-com?
I mean, you have your basic rom-com setup here, but it's on Netflix. It stars Jennifer Lopez. It stars Brett Goldstein. She's a CEO of an airline, and he's a lawyer that works there. And they end up in a relationship. They have to hide it from HR. I thought out of everybody in this film, Betty Gilpin was the one who was like absolutely, like she completely nailed this role that she was in. Amy Sedaris was in it, Edward James Olmos, Bradley Whitford, Tony Hale, Jackie Sandler. They all appear in this film. I think another person who was really good in this film was Will Sasso. He has a small part. I thought he was really funny in this. But as far as like recent J-Lo rom-coms go, I thought Shotgun Wedding and Marry Me were so much better than this one was. And I went and looked up the reviews of Shotgun Wedding recently, and they were not great, but I really liked that film.
I have to check it out.
And I like both of those better than this one. So, my last shout out goes to Scary Movie 6, which is actually what I did this week. Now that I remember. But I've seen every single Scary Movie in theaters during opening weekend. So I had to go see Scary Movie 6. And if you've never seen the Scary Movie franchise, it's a parody of a bunch of different horror movies. Scary Movie 5 was really bad. And
I mean, if you've never seen any of the Scary Movies, you're probably not starting with this one.
Well, starting with Scary Movie 6?
Yeah.
I mean, it's very possible. It's a new movie out in theaters.
I don't know, I feel like everybody should start with the OG.
Yeah, but Scary Movie 5 was the only one that didn't feature Anna Faris and Regina Hall. They returned for this. It also marked the return of the Wayans brothers, so it was great to see them back in this. And I honestly couldn't stop smiling throughout the whole movie, from both laughing and just like the nostalgia that it delivered. It was very, very meta. It broke the fourth wall. Ultimately, for me, it was more like a parody of Scary Movie than Scary Movie. If that makes sense. Like, I feel like this wasn't a Scary Movie film. It felt like a parody of Scary Movie. But I thought this was very good. From the cameos they had, from like the past films, from the other characters, the other movies and stuff. It felt like Deadpool in a sense. And everybody in the theater was just constantly laughing. So don't believe the reviews. This has very negative reviews.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of this film. I hope there's a Scary Movie 7. There were people who were like, this movie, blah, 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 they did this. I'm like, brother, you just don't get it. You're not getting it. It's not made for you. You're not understanding the concept of this film.
Yeah, well, it's definitely one I'm going to see at some point, but not in the movie theater.
I would.
I mean,
if this
for
was
me,
on streaming,
I've been a fan of the Scary Movie. I mean, the earlier ones, not really the more recent one.
I think 1 and 2 are fantastic. 3 is very solid. 4 is decent. 5 was just absolutely like.
Which one was 5? Which one was Charlie Sheen?
4, 3, 4, and 5. But in 5, him and Simon Rex play different characters in 5 for whatever reason.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the Scary Movie 3 is the one with like the Signs parody.
Okay. Yeah, that may have been the last one that I've seen, I think.
Yeah. I think and it's weird that people put Scary Movie 3 above 1 and 2. But
no way.
They do, but I would never do that, but I think it's a very good movie.
It's also probably the people that do that probably didn't see Scary Movie, weren't probably around when Scary Movie 1 came out.
Which is crazy, by the way. That was 26 years ago. I saw that. I feel like I might have been too young. Well, not too young. I was like,
I mean, there wasn't really.
No, there was.
I guess.
I sat next to my dad for that film, and I felt so awkward.
Yeah, I could understand that.
Like that scene that we were talked about a few weeks ago with Bobby and Cindy.
Yeah, that scene. Yeah, that scene. I mean, just hilarious. Just hilarious.
Yeah, so overall, like I said, it was really great to see the cast back, and I absolutely enjoyed all of this. So thank you to everybody who was part of this and had this film made. But those are my shout-outs. And also, like I was about to say, if this was on Netflix, I would probably have watched it like 3 times already. But those are my shout-outs. Now it's time for
Mark Out Moment of the Week.
That is right, our Mark Out Moment of the Week. I feel like it's a non-wrestling week, kind of.
Yeah.
But I'll start with Toy Story. Because a few weeks ago, a countdown in the style of Toy Story appeared on Taylor Swift's website, quickly disappeared. And everyone's like, brother, what the heck was this? And then the creators of Toy Story 5 denied that she was even in the film. And then a countdown went up. What?
I saw a billboard with...
Yeah, a
Toy
countdown
Story,
went up
like
again
13.
last week.
Yeah,
and
with
now...
like 13 clouds.
Yeah, now we have a new country song from Taylor Swift, which is for the movie. It's called I Knew It, I Knew You. There's that version. There's an acoustic version, a piano version, with all 3 songs featuring different vocals, which I give her credit for that. But I think it's really catchy. I'm definitely looking forward to Toy Story 5. I think it's funny that they had to make a decoy film to show off without her in it because it wasn't announced yet. And then they kayfabe people about it.
That's awesome.
I am disappointed. I know for me, I don't know how big of a moment of the movie it is. I know a spoiler from the film because you scroll through TikToks, there was like a red carpet for Toy Story. And there was this little kid interviewing Joan Cusack. And they asked Joan Cusack a question, and Joan's like, how do you know that? You're not supposed to know that. And the kid was like, I saw the movie already. Why would you put that up? I didn't want to know this spoiler.
That's
right?
lame.
Like, why would you, if the movie's not out yet, why would you, I understand that you're like a kid or whatever. Obviously, it's the parent handling the interview account, the TikTok account. Mm-hmm. But if the movie's not out yet, like, did nobody say, like, hey, brother, you can't put this out?
I mean, if they're
it's not in the trailer.
I mean, but if they're going across the red carpet, that's fair game.
Oh, but a little kid is interviewing Joan Cusack. Joan Cusack wasn't like being like, oh, by the way, this happens in the film. The kid was like, oh, I like this, or whatever they say in it. They were like, this such and such about this part, and she goes, how do you know this?
Mm-hmm.
I saw it.
Well, that's on her. Deny.
But you can't lie to a kid that literally just saw the movie.
Why not?
The kid saw the movie. What do you mean?
Tell them that there's another copy going around.
That kid, by the way, didn't at that time know Taylor Swift was in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
They must have had a dummy copy, but still, like, would have been nice not to be spoiled. But I think the song, like I said, I thought the song was great. I'm happy to hear any sort of new Taylor Swift song, especially a country song. Mm-hmm. But as far as more we could start Monday. Monday at Madison Square Garden, the New York Knicks lost. That's not the mark out moment of the week. Danhausen showed up to the game, and that was awesome.
Yeah, Danhausen at the game was incredible to see his reception that he would get from everybody.
You got people on the streets with Danhausen masks hanging it from the subway. Knowing that Ben Stiller actually knows Danhausen is wild. Hearing Ben Stiller say, oh, my driver talks about it.
Yeah. I mean, Ben Stiller with Danhausen was incredible. Danhausen with the Pat McAfee stuff, even just appearing during the interviews and stuff was just incredible, you know?
But like I said, unfortunately, the Knicks lost on Monday. But Wednesday, that freaking Knicks game was insane.
Wow.
I don't watch basketball. I don't watch sports like that. I've been watching the Knicks because of Danhausen. I wouldn't say I'm a bandwagon fan or anything. It would be great to see New York win, obviously, because it's always great when New York
I don't
wins.
think that you would be bandwagon.
Nah, I mean, I'm here for Danhausen.
Yeah.
But I am literally like sitting in my house clapping and cheering. And this game was absolutely insane. The Knicks were playing like absolute garbage.
Yeah,
And
they
then-
were down 29 points.
Brother, I tweeted out, I'm like, the Knicks are going to need that big Space Jam moment at halftime where Bugs Bunny gives the team the Michael secret stuff. Even after halftime, they weren't playing as great, but that fourth quarter was crazy.
Yeah.
They
Just
came back
wild.
again. It was just like the game the other week, but like the other week was a lot closer. This game ended again just 1 point.
Yeah.
Right down, it was like 5 seconds left on the clock when they scored or something like that?
1.4.
That was absolutely crazy. I thought that was a fantastic game.
1.4.
And then, of
you
course,
had you had Taylor Swift in the crowd.
That's the big,
you
oh,
know?
she's not a fan. She's from Pennsylvania. How dare she be there? Brother. Her shirt sucks. Has nothing to do with the Knicks. Brother. Like, you're a nerd.
Yeah. Let her have fun.
She's literally
Why can't she
lived in
go
New
and have
York
fun?
for 14 years. She's done interviews talking about how she likes the Knicks, even when they were garbage. They were garbage up until Danhausen uncursed them. Like, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just ridiculous that these people spend so much time putting Taylor Swift down. Oh, I'm watching a Knicks game. I don't need to see Taylor Swift. I'm watching a football game. I don't need to see... Oh, she cheered for the Cleveland Cavaliers the other week. No, she didn't. You can literally watch her watching the game. She cheers when the Knicks get the points. She's there in Cleveland because, why could she possibly be in Ohio for a game?
Mm-hmm.
Could her fiance possibly be from Ohio cheering on the Cleveland Cavaliers? But she's
just
not cheering.
incredible.
She's not cheering for the Cavs. She's cheering for the Knicks. And
I
she
mean,
showed up
Timothy
without Travis Kelce, sat front row, cheered for the Knicks.
Yeah, with Haim.
Yeah.
You had Timothy Chalamet. And
Obviously, Chalamet's there. And people are like, oh,
You know?
it's ridiculous that all these celebrities come here. They have all the big bucks and the fans who have been fans for years and get shut out of the game. Blah, blah. Chalamet has been a fan for... I mean, he grew up in New York.
Yeah, these people have been front row from the beginning. I mean, look at Tracy Morgan and Jimmy Fallon and stuff like that. And who cares if they're sitting... Guess what?
Yeah,
Guess
you're
what,
not sitting
everybody?
there. Like, you're
You
not going to
can't-
be there.
if-
You're not getting in the game
Yeah.
regardless.
Guess what? I'm sorry you can't afford those front row tickets. Even if they were less expensive, you're not going to afford anywhere close to there. So guess what? I'm sorry that the nosebleed seats were too expensive. They were definitely over.
I mean,
just
obviously,
incredibly.
that is a garbage thing.
that's a
that
different
goes back
story.
to
If-
what I spoke about at the beginning of the show, where people were charging money for a free concert.
Exactly. If you want to tell me that the prices were insane for the nosebleeds, like there's no reason why the third and second row from the last section is $8,000. That is disgusting. That is awful.
Apparently, they had
But to-
$1,000 standing room only tickets, though.
But to be saying that the front row shouldn't have the celebrities and what real people are you going to have that in the front row? Who? Nobody else can afford it. You're going to have either business people or you're going to have the celebrities.
Which I'll tie it back to concerts again. Billy Joel reserves his front row for actual fans.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he says. I think it's honestly just for hot chicks, but I honestly like you.
I mean,
if
let's
you-
face it. After seeing some of the celebrations in the streets and stuff of the New York fans, do we really want that in the front row too?
I don't think those are real fans. I honestly think they're LARPing, as the people say these days.
Yeah.
Like you're jumping and breaking a taxi cab. You're fighting police. What are you doing? You're breaking down signs. I don't think these are fans.
I agree. Just stupid. But hey, OG, that move, that tip in, and then the block from the tip from Cat and everything, the block from OG, everybody came just firing hot. Jalen, just an awesome game. And Alvarado with his little takedown of Wemby. But you know what? We still have to. The series is far from over. Even though you want to say that they only need to win one more, anything could happen in sports. Anything could happen.
Dude, it's so funny when you say anything could happen. My friend literally turned the game off, and obviously the Knicks start coming back, and I'm like, dude, are you seeing this? He goes, I turned it off, and I was like, he's like, I don't know if I should keep it off since they're scoring. Like it was like the what's the word?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I forgetting the word right now?
Scoring?
No, superstition.
Uh-huh.
It's like superstitious there. Like, I turned the game off and they started scoring. If I turn it back on, will they stop scoring?
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
But they just kept scoring more and more. I was like, bro, keep the game off.
Yeah, But yeah, just like with Jalen Brunson sounded just like Kobe Bryant when Kobe was saying that they're even though they're up two games to nothing, there's really no reason to celebrate that. It's not over yet. And Jalen said the same exact thing. It's not over yet. There's
Also,
no reason to celebrate too hot. It's exciting, but still got to keep your focus. This Spurs team is not to be taken lightly. You can't have easy turnovers. And we'll see what happens on Saturday.
With the Knicks playing like absolute garbage for like most of that game. And obviously, Wemby's a great player, but I also feel like Wemby is like a really dirty player.
Mm-hmm.
Just based off of the stuff and even Monday night, the officiating was just absolutely garbage on both sides, but I don't know what that was about. I feel like there were calls that should have been made and just for whatever reason weren't being made.
Yeah.
If Wemby gets another one of those fouls, he gets banned from the series. Is that accurate?
Yes, that is accurate. One more.
Interesting. I saw, and then there was that one clip going around where he just randomly goes up into the dude's face to like where he could have easily torn an ACL there.
Mm-hmm.
Like how's that allowed?
Yeah.
But I'm not a sports fan, so I have no right to talk about it.
Did you have any other moments that you marked out for?
No, I mean, not like wrestling wise was really mainly that was Danhausen. I'm so like, it's crazy that a year ago he was literally doing nothing.
Yeah.
And then he comes to WWE. He sucks. He always sucked. Danhausen was never good. Look at that. He flopped. LOL. They're booing him. He's literally one of the biggest names in the company right now. Hottest merch seller. Crossover with the New York Knicks in the NBA Finals.
Wild.
Well, that is the Mark Out moment of the week, and that is Marking Out episode 801. Thank you so much for checking us out. You can follow us on Twitter at Markin Out, at BTTG161 on all platforms. Chris Sweendog, CM Sweeney 85, David PTDPT on all platforms. You could like us on Facebook, facebook.com/markingout. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Our YouTube and Instagram are markingout11. You could buy some merchandise. Forgot my train of thought there. ProWrestlingTees.com/markingout. You could follow us at Markingout on TikTok. Rate, review, and subscribe on all platforms. You could check us out. Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, iHeartRadio, markingout.com, YouTube, and we wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. Have a fantastic week.